Anybody out there? Aha. There we go. There we go. I can see myself too. There we go. There we go. Alright, audio's coming through. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm telling you, I will never get used to... I'll never get used to this. I don't know if it's the OBS thing I'm using or if it's YouTube, but I have to set up on YouTube first, but then OBS wants to set up, and that's why I get two different channels every time, two different streams every time. And I can't do one without the other. If somebody else knows how to operate it, please tell me what I'm doing wrong. It's so frustrating. But you're here. That's good. Apple to... Hang on. Refresh. Of course, I can't read the stupid comments on this stupid thing. I'm going to turn this chat thing off. Look on here. My phone works better. Apple II, yes. I restarted. Good. Okay. Good deal. Everybody, well, a lot of people are here already. Cool. For me, 4 people's a lot. So, cool. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining me. Got a lot to talk about. It's going to be a busy night tonight. I want to do it in a short time. I'm really tired. Hey, any idea when the Aria will be out? Okay. Yes, Stefan, I talked to Nissan today. Yeah. Got these really cool. You got to check these things out. These are pretty cool. I hate this camera angle. It's reversed. So there's the Aria. Got this from my dealer today. It's not good news about the Aria, I'll tell you that much right now. Check out this notepad though. They were giving me this. I could have as many as I wanted. They were giving these things away free. So these are notepads. Like that. Pretty cool. Little notepads. Pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. Free. So I took a few. These are cool. So the news about Aria is just as bad as over in Europe. It's been delayed over here in Japan as well. I don't think you guys have to worry. I don't think it has anything to do with the car. I think it has to do with the infrastructure. This car it's just going to take too long on 50 kilowatts to charge up. I don't know about, probably Europe's okay, but over here in Japan, first of all, the Aria can only take 100 kilowatts. It can't go over 100 kilowatts for charging. The second thing is, over here we only have 50 kilowatt chargers. Nissan is way behind on. They're saying they're doing it. They're refurbishing the chargers and making them 100 kilowatt chargers, but I haven't found any. And I live in the Tokyo metropolitan area. I haven't found any in this area yet. So they're behind. I think that's why they're holding off. They need an infrastructure before they put this puppy out. Otherwise, they're just gonna get a lot of bad press, bad media with a car that expensive taking so long to charge on a quick charger. So I think that's why they're holding off. So thanks, Hub. That is pretty cool, right? So yeah, I think that's what's delaying it. It's being delayed. They're not being specific how long, but it's being delayed over here as well. My dealer, I talked to him. I said, "Is Nissan still really upset with me?" He says, "No, no, no." He says, "You can totally borrow the car and do a video when it's available, when we get it." So I'm excited about that. I do have that. I did lock in a date, not a date, but I mean I locked in a chance to take the car and make a really good, pretty thorough video with a test drive and all that stuff. I think I understood him right. I mean, there is always a communication problem between him and I, but I think we're good to go on that. There's a major lag in what I'm saying, so I have to wait a second for any questions or comments. But I didn't want to start off with that. I have something I have to talk about. It's kind of serious. I think I'll hit that first. And it has to do with something happened in the middle of this week. That's one of the reasons why I'm behind. I'm supposed to have part 3 out a long time ago. I'm working on part 4 right now, getting ready to work on part 4, and I haven't even finished part 3 yet. You guys already know that I got a new phone, the iPhone 13, and the video is just insane. You can use the HDR, what they call Dolby Vision. The audio's insane. It's got stereo now. The iPhone shoots in stereo, not mono anymore. And with those new cameras and the new you have all these new effects thanks to the really fast CPU on it. You can do really cool effects, and with the HDR, you can just shoot really, really high definition video, scary high definition video. And I apologize to some of you guys with the big screen TVs. I didn't realize this until I started getting. I had a question about my eyes from my sister. When I lived in America, my eyes have changed color several times in my life. When I lived in America, my eyes were brown. And she was watching the video. She says, "Are your eyes blue?" And I said, "Actually, they're green." She says, "Well, you're wearing blue hats that made them look blue." I said, "Well, I think they're green." So I zoomed in. You know how you can, on Final Cut Pro, you can crop. And you can blow something up really bad. You've seen that on other people's YouTube videos when they do like a video and they want to show somebody's facial reaction. They'll crop only that face and it gets pixelated and everything, right? Usually. Not with this. With HDR, I zoomed in on my eyes only and I was like way far away in a wide shot. And it was still sharp as a tack. Cool, but you better have really good grooming. I wasn't aware. I had a whole bunch of, not a whole bunch, but I had nose hair showing. It was pretty gross. I thought it was my mustache. My mustache hairs tend to poke me in my nose. So I'm constantly doing this because it tickles my nose. So I thought it was my mustache hair bothering me the whole time when I was making a video. It turned out I had a nose hair. I hope none of you saw that with the big screen TVs. That's embarrassing. HDR is almost too good. You see too much information. A little embarrassing. But yeah, these files are huge. And so it caused trouble. After I made part 1, I erased all part 1's files, the original media and everything, and started working on part 2. Then I finished part 2 and erased all the original media on that. When I started working on part 3, all of a sudden my hard drive filled up. It was completely full. I was like, what? I just started making the video. Why? I deleted all my past projects, and I deleted all the original media. Why is it doing it? Turns out Final Cut Pro keeps a huge folder of all your rendered files, and they're huger, they're bigger, because it's anything you edited, anything you did, color correction, brightness correction, any kind of things like that on a video, it'll render it and then save that file on a separate area. And they're huge, like a 50. So some of these files, this thing records so high quality. Some of my videos that I was editing were like 50 gigabytes for one clip. A clip was 50 gigabytes. And when I rendered it, when I edited it, it rendered to almost 100 gigabytes, almost twice the size. So you can imagine I had like in rendered files 500 and some gigabytes of data that I wasn't using, but it was from past projects. I erased all original data. So I had to go through and it was really painstaking. But I cleared it up. I have around 300 gigabytes of space now on my drive. I should be able to finally finish these projects. But in the middle of all that, oh, hang on. Oslo Jim, what do you got to say? Let's see. Are you still looking at the Tesla? I think Nissan has a going hangover. Renault is not a premium brand. No, it's not. But Nissan EVs are marketed as a premium product. Nissan stuff in Japan is Nissan stuff. Like, it is different. Nissan in Europe, yeah, there's a big connection between Nissan and Renault in Europe, but in Japan, it's strictly in-house. They don't use any Renault parts. It's strictly in-house. It's very different over here. So, like the Nissan Leaf that's made in Japan, the American counterpart and the European counterpart are very different. In some ways, they're better in Europe and America. They have features that we don't get over here. We're still working off a 3 kilowatt charger, AC charger, in our cars. You can finally on the second generation they give you an option for a 7 kilowatt charger, but they strongly recommend you not doing that because it costs like over $1,000 to install the wall charger on your house, and then also it's expensive. 7 kilowatts of current energy being pulled from your house current. That's why it's so expensive. Houses aren't wired over here for that much amperage. They're just not, because electricity is wicked expensive over here per kilowatt. And so my house is an exception. I'm that techie, geeky guy. I did stuff that no other Japanese house does. So I have a 60 amp fuse on my, and that's still too small. If you go like, dude, there's wall chargers. There's AC chargers now for cars out there. Like, they go up to what is it? 18 kilowatts. That's insane for a home charger. 18 kilowatts is basically, I talked about last time. 18 kilowatts is the same as our quick chargers at the convenience stores over here. The DC quick chargers are between 18 and 20 something kilowatts. So for a home charger to go 18 kilowatts, that's insane draw. I don't think that would ever make it over here. I mean, it would break someone's bank account to have that kind of charger on their wall. My house, I average about $300 a month on electricity, and I'm on a special rate plan where at night I get, like, it's really discounted at night, starting at 11 o'clock, from between 11 and 7, a very discounted rate. And even with that discounted rate, we do all of our laundry at night because of that. I'm allowed to use the heaters. Oh, I've still got them on, turn them off. I'm allowed to use the heaters or air conditioning only after 11 at night, and that's when we charge the cars because it's very cheap. But even doing that, I'm $300 a month on electric bill, with like halogen lights, and we don't have a TV. We don't use a TV. I have a TV, but I'm not hooked up to any kind of cable. We don't watch TV. I use it once in a while to watch movies with the family, where I can choose the movies and make sure they're appropriate and stuff. And so, yeah, it's expensive over here. And they strongly recommend not using 7 kilowatt home charger. A 13, 11 or 13 will never make it over here. So, yeah, I think the American cars and the European cars, they have things that we don't have. They have heaters on the battery packs, like the first gen. They had heaters for the wintertime on the battery packs. We never got that. It was only available in Hokkaido. If you lived in Hokkaido, they felt like it wasn't necessary over here, even though we get -0 degree temperatures sometimes in the winter as well over here. There's times where we need it. Not as often as Hokkaido, obviously, but we do get it sometimes. I've got questions. Solar in Japan. I'll have to get with you on this. Yeah, no doubt. Also, I get it, but Nissan think they are boss compared to other in Japan. Yeah, they're not boss, but they're okay competitive wise. It goes Toyota, as far as in my book, Toyota, Honda, Nissan for the major three. Then you have Suzuki, Daihatsu. You have those other brands, but the big ones is Toyota, Honda, Nissan. Nissan's still in the top three, I think. They've got, with all those scandals with Mitsubishi. I don't consider Mitsubishi in the top three because Mitsubishi's just been nothing, scandal after scandal after scandal. Nissan had to buy them to keep them from falling apart. And Nissan is not scandal free. Toyota and Honda have scandals too, but they're not near as often as Mitsubishi and Nissan. And Nissans and Mitsubishi scandals are pretty bad. They're pretty bad. So no, I agree with you also, Jim. But at the same time, Japanese Nissan is very different than American Nissan, European Nissan. The quality is much higher over here. I have a 7-year-old Leaf, and my battery is it's really good. I've only lost one seg. I can still get almost 160, almost 100 miles on an 80% charge over here. That's what I could do with my brand new Leaf when I bought my Leaf brand new over here. Mine's 7 years old. It has 2,000 something charges on its battery. It's been charged over 2,000 times now. And it's still at 11 segs, and it does really good. I just drove it today. I started at 79%. I went 129 kilometers, and I made it back with 10% left on the No, 9% left on the battery pack. No, 8. I'm sorry. I was keeping track of the percentage. I think it was 9 or 8 when I got to the house. And because I did it on purpose. I want to see exactly how far I can go and stuff. And I felt like that was a pretty good success for a 7-year-old Leaf. It's good. It's good. It's got a lot of miles on it, and it's still doing really well. For the battery pack's amazing on it. I bought it for less than $9,000 used a couple years ago. Hang on, let's see. No, my Leaf is 8 almost. It'll be 8 years old. February. That's crazy. I'm rethinking EVs. My new house is all electric. Yeah, let me tell you, the best thing about these electric cars is being able to fuel them up at night. It costs next to nothing with the smaller battery pack cars like the Leaf, the Meave, or that new MK that's going to come out. Those 3 cars with their battery pack size are perfect for these electric rates we pay and stuff. It's next to nothing, and you can get on an 8. I never charged 100% ever. You don't need to. Because when you lose your regen, when you charge 100%, you lose all your regenerative braking. And when you lose that, it's next to nothing on extra range. It doesn't really extend the range much. You might get 10 to 15 kilometers more by charging 100%. I don't know when I ever need that extra 10 to 15 kilometers. You know me. I don't let it go below 30% before I charge again. Usually, unless I'm in a situation where I can't charge. But I usually always charge around 30% or higher so I've always got plenty of range still. So I don't need that 10 or 15 extra. And when you have the regenerative braking, as you'll see when you watch these videos I'm putting out, if you have the regenerative braking, dude, I don't want to give too much away, but part 3 is a really good part for you guys. It's not like we're stopping places and stuff and looking actually, but what it is my Navi. The title of part 3 is My Navi Tried to Kill Me. And because the navigation on the Leaf, I was using Nissan Leaf's navigation, and I put it on economy mode to get me the best range possible. And I was on a major highway going through Gifu, going over to Toyama. So the speed was much higher. It was like 60, 70 kilometers an hour, but you were using tunnels. You didn't have to go so far up the mountains because you're using tunnels. You're cutting through the mountains. So it made up for it, right? Well, my Navi, since I had it on economy mode, it didn't want me going that fast. So it got me off the main highway and put me on an old highway, the one that was the original highway. And it had 2 markers on it. It was a real highway, and people still use it. I could tell that they kept it fairly clean of debris and stuff, and it looked like they were trimming. They actually trimmed mowed trimmed the sides, so because it was a very narrow street that we were going. We ended up on a very narrow mountain road, and it was a 2-way road, but you couldn't fit 2 cars past, so they had pullover places, but not very often. If you got stuck in the wrong spot, one of you guys on a cliff-based road with no guardrail and sharp, like 90-degree turns, you're gonna have to back up, and it's scary. They won't allow any cars over 5 meters long on that road. You weren't allowed to, if your car's over 5 meters, which a lot of cars are, you can't go on that road because the back wheels will pop off as you're taking these hairpin turns in some of those turns. And so it was very surreal. But I don't want to give too much information, but my point is when we got to the side and we're coming down, the regenerative braking was amazing. You'll see what the range I got from a I think I charged to 88 or 89% at the previous charge point. Um, and I went forever in a teeny little battery, 6-year-old van going up. I was over 2,000 meters. I didn't have my altimeter with me, but we were like 2,600 meters probably around there before we met the summit. And it was steep. It was steep, zigzagging back and forth going up this mountain, and very narrow, like a Hawaiian road, narrow road, two ways. But I mean, that was insane. Luckily, nobody's stupid enough. The locals don't use it in the middle of the night. There's no street lamps either. Zero street lamps on this highway. And so nobody uses it at night. So we didn't have, nobody came at us, or nobody was even behind me. And that it was scary. There was falling rocks all over the place. We had bears. It was crazy. It was pitch black, and hairpin turns, and it was a little freaky. I don't want to give it all away, but my point is, when you watch that, you'll see how important regenerative braking is. Very important. And if you, I mean, it would have been not a problem going up that mountain, obviously, even if I charged 100%, by the time I got to the top, I would have had all my regenerative braking back. But I'm saying, when you're driving straight, having that regenerative braking gives you actually more range than if you charge to 100%. It works out. It works out the same, basically. That's how important regenerative braking is. So let's see. My AC also on, but heating the home. Yeah. Mitsubishi is a truck company. Yeah. Mitsubishi mainly. My stepfather. Funny you said that. My stepfather had a diesel Mitsubishi pickup truck. He bought used, and it lasted him forever. That was a good vehicle. He got that, America. Very nice truck. It was cute, simple, very simple, but he got really cheap anyways, and lasted forever. After he passed away, I think my mom gave it to somebody. I mean, that thing had tens of thousands of miles left on it. It was a really solid truck, great vehicle. Let's see. Hub says, I like that you take time with the horses and looking at. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like that. I have so many parts. Part 4 is going to be more stuff like that again. I'm going around and showing things and stuff. I felt like part 3 has a little bit of that too. I didn't. It's not just driving up a mountain. I didn't want to have just that part in there. It's important. It's important to show what these EVs, even the smallest battery EVs, can do. Guys, this stupid Navi put me in a situation where we were 2,000 meters high, zero cell phone reception, middle of nowhere, dark as can be, cliff on one side, a ditch on the other side, or just a cliff face, or just another rock right there. You had rock on one side and cliff on the other side. Sometimes you had a ditch on the other side, but you don't want to get in the ditch; you get stuck. Wild bears in the middle of the road. You had to try to get them to move, and things like that. I was dealing with stuff like that, and if if I didn't have the confidence I have in these electric cars, I would have been I was enjoying it. It was nerve-wracking, but I love pushing everything to its limit. I really do. We started at the base of this mountain at 62%, 63%. I was dropping. I was like down to almost 20 some. I think it was like 32% when I finally made it to the summit. We had no idea when the summit was going to come. The thing about these Navis, they never tell you the elevation. They don't tell you where the peak elevation is. They don't tell you that stuff. So we had no idea. We've never been in this area. Had no idea where the summit was. But my wife said, turn around. First of all, I said, there is nowhere to turn around. I have zero. Even where they have the pullover places, not enough room to turn that van around. I said, we're kind of committed now. There was one time where we had a chance to turn around. We passed that long time. That was at the very beginning. And we thought it was going to widen back out. I said that chance that's passed a long time ago, but I really wasn't worried too much. I had, That's what the whole point is. Part three is coming out, is to show you what these things are capable of. They almost rule the mountains. They're almost better. You're almost better off in an electric car than you are in a gasoline car. Another point, I'm giving away too much information. I want you guys to watch part three. But another thing we found out driving through these mountains is in Japan, no gas stations at night. Like starting at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night, they shut down. If you're in a gasoline car, you could have just as much range anxiety as a personal electric car if you're in a gasoline car up in the mountains. The thing about electric cars, we have charge points in the mountains because they're 24 hours. They don't need staff. So there's places we found out in the middle of nowhere with charge points. Amazing. You're actually better off on an electric car. This mountain road we were on, no charge points. There were 0 charge points on this. The one that the Navy put us on. If we stayed on the main highway, there's tons of charge points. But this stupid old highway it put us on because the speed limit is much lower. Their max speed was 20 to 30 kilometers an hour because it's one lane and the turns are so sharp and there's no guardrails, and the visibility is poor and everything. So they want you going like 20, 30 kilometers an hour going up this mountain. There's zero. There's no civilization. There's nothing. No cellular, no signal. You're taking a chance at night. That's why I said, lucky for us in a way, everyone else knows not to do that. I think we would have been screwed if somebody came towards us. I would have tried to force them to back up if they had a smaller car. I didn't want to get out. There was a time when there was a small boulder in front of our car, and I had to get really close to the cliffside of the edge of the street to get around it because we saw bears. It was pitch black. I didn't want to get out of the car and move the boulder. I was like, I'm not taking any chances. I don't know who, there's monkeys, wild monkeys, there's bears, all kinds of stuff out there. I don't want to take any chances. So, yeah. So that's what that. Let's see. Let's see how it says, can you calculate with a better route planner? Well, I have 3 different route planners, but I trusted the Nissan at the time. I wanted to use the Nissan because we were having trouble with the audio on the Google Maps. The audio I was not hearing it very well, and so we switched over to Nissan because Nissan, their Navi, the audio is separate from everything else, so you can adjust the volume, and it was perfect. And it's never given me trouble like this before. We've never had a Nissan go do something as stupid as this. It was we were laughing about it, My wife started crying when we were getting, when we were like in the thick of it, she started crying. She was really upset. I felt bad for her. I was having a great time because it's like this is, not intentionally, but this is like video gold in a way, for my channel. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good so many levels, I felt like. It's like, dude, this is really important. This is great to see what this car can do. This car is wicked heavy compared to a Nissan Leaf, but it has the exact same battery and powertrain as the Nissan Leaf. How's this thing going to do? What am I going to get for numbers? You guys will be shocked. It's going to blow your mind, the numbers this thing was pulling off going through these mountains. You got to watch the video. Let's see. So yeah, I did have other things, but I didn't. Okay, I want to get back on track real quick, guys. I have something serious to talk about. The reason why part 3 is not up is partially because I was fighting with my hard drive filled up my brand new computer because this video is ridiculous big. But the main reason why is I woke up Wednesday morning, deaf in this ear. It's still completely deaf. I finally got to go to the doctor a couple days ago. Ran all kinds of tests. He wanted to do an MRI. I wasn't into the MRI because I asked him, is the MRI going to change the diagnosis? And he said, no. Basically, no. But we can confirm whether it's this or this, but the diagnosis works out the same. Whether you have this or this, it's still the same diagnosis, basically. And the diagnosis is I have sudden deafness syndrome. Yeah, that's a thing. I never heard of it, but supposedly it's common, kind of. 1 in 5,000 people suffer from it. Who knew? I'm one of the 5,000. And you just wake up one day and you're deaf in one ear. Usually it's one ear. And it's not just deafness, though. It wasn't like instant. Okay, what happened was Tuesday morning, after I took a shower, I was in the closet getting changed. and I bent over to get my socks on, and I felt a little sensation in the ear, and all of a sudden it started ringing really loud. And I thought, oh crap, this one's a bad one. But I kept rubbing it, thinking it was going to go away soon, and it didn't go away. And I had to do a whole lesson. It was just before my lesson started, my class started, and I did my class, but I couldn't concentrate because the ringing was so loud in my ear. It was almost painful. And I was telling my wife, like, dude, this is ridiculous. It's still going. I'm worried. And but we couldn't do anything about it at the time. Went to bed thinking it was probably just pressure. There's pressure in my ear. I felt pressure. And I had been having allergy issues because I had to go up in the attic and pull stuff out of the attic for Halloween decoration stuff. And I have house dust allergies. So I figured it was just pressure from my sinuses. And so I went to bed thinking it'll clear up in the morning. Woke up the next morning, the ringing was less. It was much less. So I felt like, okay, it's getting better. And I had a demo lesson that day, so I couldn't go to the doctor again. I had to do a demo lesson. That's why the previous day I had to keep working because I had to get the class kind of ready for the demo lesson. My kids are little. These are 2, 3, and 4. The oldest is 4, and so I had to get these kids looking fairly good for the demo lesson. It's hard. They're little kids. They just started learning English. And so Wednesday was the demo lesson. It went pretty well, but the woman is kind of far away, so we haven't heard from her since, but she did enjoy the lesson, so I think it's just the distance. She's not too keen on driving that far. That's fine. I get that. But after the demo lesson, after I ate lunch, the noise started getting louder in my ear again right after lunch. But it wasn't terrible yet. By evening, it was the same level as the day before. And it was starting to bother me again. It was starting to concern me. But it was too late to go to the hospital. Over here in Japan, everybody knows the clinics close really early. So I was like, okay, we'll figure this out. Wednesday night, just before I was trying to go to bed, it was extremely loud. Like loudest it ever been yet. And it was really painful. It was like a train whistle blowing in my ear, like right here. I couldn't hear out of this ear even. My good ear, I couldn't hear anything out of it because the noise was so deafening in this ear. Noise to me, not to anybody else. But I still I would do this. I rub my fingers next to my ears like this. And the noise, hard to do with the camera. Everything's reversed. But I was doing this and the noise was the same level. So I could still hear. Like the ringing was loud, so it was drowning out what I could hear from people talking and stuff. But my ears it wasn't bad yet. I still had full hearing. And I went to bed in pain. I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was unbelievable pain. I'm telling you, I own guns in America, and if I had one of those, I probably would have shot myself. It was that bad, guys. I was in total panic mode. The noise woke me up. The pain woke me up, and it was undescribable. I can't describe the level of pain and screaming that was in my ear. And then I was getting cold, so I turned the heaters on and I laid down and put my good ear down on my pillow to drain. I think I was trying to drain the fluid on my ear. I still thought it was a fluid, and laid my head down on the pillow, and it went completely silent. And I shot out. I was like, what the hell? And I did the test again, and it was dead silent. Then I started touching my ear and doing this. Nothing. In fact, it almost felt like it was a numb ear because it was nothing. Nothing was happening. I couldn't hear anything. And then that's when I realized I was deaf. The ear went dead, and I freaked. And I went, after I prayed like crazy for the pain to stop and for help with the hearing. I ran to my wife and said, I'm deaf. This ear's no good. I don't know what's going on. And she didn't know what to do either. We decided emergency room is not going to be any good. And sure enough, we were right. We were confirmed by the doctors the next day. Emergency room's no good because they'll just send you home, say come back at normal business hours and stuff. So I had to try to. I couldn't sleep. The noise was too much, and also I'm freaked out about my ear. So I did all kinds of research on the computer, and I came up with three possible diagnoses on my own. And sure enough, I was right. All three were possible diagnoses. I was right on the money on what 3 is possible because it's a 1 ear. It kind of narrows it down. 1 ear deafness. One was it's called glue ear. Another thing I've never heard of, but it's very common, especially in children. But adults can get it, and that's where fluid fills up, and it's a thick, sticky fluid like glue, and that it stops all hearing. Basically, it's so thick, so you can't hear anything, and it clears itself up. It could take up to 3 months, but it clears itself up. There's that one. Could be a tumor on my nerve. That's why they want to do an MRI to make sure it's not a tumor. Or it could be the sudden deafness syndrome, SDS, and they don't know what causes it. They don't know why or anything. They don't know how to cure it. They don't know anything. They have suspicions what are factors to it and stuff, but they don't know. They can't even tell you symptoms to it. There's no symptoms for it. So it just happens, supposedly. It didn't really just happen, though. It took a few days. Yeah, so I'm deaf in 1 ear. The good news is I have a 50% chance that it might come back. If it doesn't come back, then it's a dead ear for the rest of my life. But I'm not too concerned about that. I'd like the ringing to stop. The ringing is still just loud and obnoxious. It's still there. So I'd like that to stop more than anything. If I could get my hearing back, that'd be great. But right now, I prefer the deafness over the ringing right now. It hurts so bad. So it's been it's really hard for me to work on the videos right now. I can't do stereo anymore. I don't know if I'll ever be able to. So my audio levels will probably always be, it won't be as good quality audio levels from now on probably. I can't use it right now with a dead ear. The headphones mean nothing. So it hurts it's ringing. And I did an audio test, and my ear's pretty much dead, but for some reason, the very low-end lows and the very high-end highs, I can still hear. It's just everything in the middle, like everything, all the normal noises. But I can hear, like a clap is very muffled, but I can hear a clap because it's kind of high. But like talking voices, it's dead. I can't hear anything talking. Things like that. It's very weird. And so like when I turn on audio and stuff, it hurts. It's actually with the ringing and also the fact I can hear things, but it's like it's how to explain how it sounds. Like silverware, digging a silverware drawer. It's not just that ting 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 sound I hear. It's like it's like cutting in and out. It's weird in my own voice. If I get too loud, I can hear my own voice inside my head, but it sounds like a staticky robot voice in my ear, so it hurts. So right now it's really hard to do the audio level checks and stuff on the videos. So that's what's going on with that, and that's why I'm so delayed. And I'll keep you guys posted. But like I said, I've come to terms. I am 50, and the doctor that he helped me figure out that it wasn't fluid in my ears and helped me figure out how bad my hearing was and stuff. He's completely deaf in 1 ear himself. He's been completely deaf since 26. He's the guy that he's one of those guys that has the tumor on the ear nerve, and they're usually benign. They're not usually cancerous. They're just benign tumors, and they do slowly grow though. But he's had it since he's 26, and he's like, yeah. And I know my nephew, his wife, she through a virus lost all the hearing on one of her ears when she was only 13. Very traumatic. I can totally empathize with her now. It's really scary when you lose hearing in 1 ear. One day you have perfect hearing in both ears, and I have good hearing. They tested my left ear as well as my right ear. My left ear was almost perfect, like really good. For a 50-year-old, it's like I'm in my 20s for hearing. The left ear is really good, and I'm sure my right ear was just because of my left ear before it went bad. So it's very traumatizing to have really good hearing one day, and the very next day, it's gone basically. And so it's something I have to get used to with that part. But I've come to terms, like if I am deaf, I still got one good ear. I won't be able to enjoy music anymore. Surround sound movies won't. That's my thing too. It kind of sucks. I love music and I love watching movies, and I like watching the big IMAX movies with the surround sound. I enjoy doing that. Those days are gone, kind of. I can still watch them, and that's why I'm not upset. I mean, how can I boohoo and cry when I still have hearing, and so I can't hear in stereo. So what? I can still hear, So, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm blessed not to be completely deaf. So that's what's going on with that. And so, yeah, I'm hoping to get, I'm hoping it'll come back. I'm on all, dude, I'm on so many drugs. It's not even funny. They stocked it. I'm on prednisone and everything you can think of. And, so that's what's going on with that. Let's see. Let's see. I gotta get caught up. Where are we on this comments? Let's see. I feel sorry for you, James. Oh, that's okay. It's okay, buddy. Thanks though. When you go up and down and elevate, yes, that's why my doctor and I were talking about that. He said, "You've been scuba diving." I said, "No, I was the opposite. I went up almost 3,000 meters, and I went down to sea level, and then I went back up 3,000 meters, and I went back to sea level. So I've been up and down several times, and just a week ago. And so I thought that I was having some allergy problems. Along with that, I thought that's what caused it, but we ruled that out pretty quickly. But yeah, you're right. I didn't blow my eardrums. We checked out my ears. My ears are perfect, he said. Your ears are beautiful on the inside. They're clean. There's no wax. Your eardrums are beautiful, and there's no fluids in either ear, and there's no infection. So my ears are really great shape as far as that goes. It's just, it's SDS. They don't even know what causes a sudden deafness syndrome. They don't even know what causes it. It just happens. And what's really weird is 50% of people naturally get their hearing back within a couple weeks. It comes back. Most of the time, completely back. Sometimes partially back. But, most people, 50%, they get their hearing back. The other 50%, not so lucky. But then they use steroids. Supposedly steroids helps give them like maybe 30% of hearing back. Something like that. But not for everybody. But anyway, some people get some of their hearing back with the steroids. Japanese doctors don't mess around. They already put me on the steroids. They're not even going to have me wait 2 weeks. They don't. Of course, they're also kind of liars. They're playing a game. They want you to think that their medicine is what cured you. They don't even tell people that naturally your hearing comes back in 2 weeks for 50%. What they say is with our drugs, including the prednisone, you have a 50% chance of getting your hearing back. That's what they say. That's not true. It's actually naturally, you have just not doing anything, 50% of people get their hearing back. And then if they don't, then they put them on. What they do in Europe and America, they inject the prednisone directly into the inner ear and for quicker results and more powerful. And then maybe some people get their hearing back after that. But but Japan won't admit to that. Japan says it's because of them, because they don't let you wait. They make you take the stuff now, and so if your hearing comes back, it's still the same number though. It's 50% recover their hearing. The numbers don't change. So that's Japanese doctors for you. Anyways, it's a time and a heal kit kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. It's very painful. You take it. Yep, it takes time. Okay. You're 50? You are too old. Ha ha ha. Oh, I never told you guys my age? Yeah, I'm 50. I just, my birthday. It was a while back. Yeah. A big 50 for me. What happens if close your nose and make pressure? That's for glue ear. And I tried that before I went to the doctor. It doesn't do a thing. It has nothing to do with the inner ear. There's no fluid. It has nothing to do with it. It has to do with the inner ear, but it's not infection, and it's not fluid. It just, they don't know what it is. They're still working on it. It's the doctors can't even explain it very well. They don't know what it is really. They don't even know what causes it, and they don't even know how to treat it. They're like guessing. They're using this stuff, but I'm telling you, if your hearing doesn't come back naturally, chance of getting any hearing back after that, no, there's nothing. Their medicines aren't working. They don't know there's nothing. There's nothing about it. So, what are you going to do? It's okay, though. I don't put my faith in people. I don't put my faith in these stupid idiots that I mean, you should have heard this guy. I was asking all kinds of questions, and he wasn't used to that. Japanese doctors aren't used to patients asking questions about what's the side effects, what's this medicine, why are you putting this in my ear or putting this in my system. They don't. They're just used to height. What kind of stuff? Height. That's all they're used to hearing. Yes. I understand. Yes. That's all they're used to hearing. He got so mad at me, and he couldn't even answer the question, guys. I said, I understand what antibiotics are for. They're for infection. And then the doctor quickly snaps at me and says, I never said you have an infection. SDS is not infection. You don't have an infection. I said, right. So you're giving me steroids. What do they do? What are they for? And his answer was ridiculous. He kept saying, well, it relaxes you. You're stressed. It brings your stress down. And I said to him, I was like, this is one of my best months I've had. I just got off of vacation. I'm not stressed at all. I'm having a good time right now. I've had much more stressful times in the past, recently even, but not right now. I'm great right now. I don't need to be relaxed. And he kept saying that. It wasn't until we got online and started checking on our phones while he sent us back out, and we had to begin the waiting room again. And we were looking on our phones, and my wife finally found it stimulates circulation. They're trying to get the blood to flow better in the arteries, because the doctors think they don't know, but they think that's what's causing it. It's poor circulation. It's causing your ears to shut down because of poor circulation, something like that. And so they're trying to stimulate the circulation in your ears, the blood flow. But like I said, there's no evidence that that's done any good to anybody. Zero. I've looked all over. I've checked everywhere. UK.gov, America, Australia, any English big sites. I've checked all kinds of personal sites, like of people that had the same problems, and listened to their testimonies about it and stuff. And there's no evidence that the steroids do a damn thing, really. There's none. It's basically, it comes back on its own or it doesn't. And that's why I've come to terms with it. And like I said, I don't put my faith in man. I put my faith in God. And it's like they say, thy will be done. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. That's how I look at it. Besides that, I still have a good ear. Why am I complaining? It's just that it's going to slow me down on these videos, is why I'm telling you guys. Slow me down on these videos a little bit, because it hurts right now to do the audio levels. So my ear is still ringing really bad. Hopefully that will go away. If my hearing doesn't come back, at least hopefully the ringing will go away. I don't know. They won't even tell me that. It's amazing. This doctor I had was just ridiculous. My first doctor, the old guy that lost hearing himself, he was much better, but he's a small clinic. You have to go to the clinics first, and they give you a referral paper to go to the big hospitals with all the big equipment and everything, and MRI and everything. And I even told the guy, I'm not interested in MRI. Well, you don't know if it's a tumor or not. It's like, if it's a tumor, is my prognosis any different? Well, no, not really. You're deaf. And it's like, yeah. We'll find out. I said, either way, it's the same outcome. But if my hearing does come back, if I'm lucky to be one of the 50% that the hearing comes back, then we know it was SDS. If not, it doesn't matter if it's SDS or it's a tumor. I still have no hearing. I'm not going to pay thousands of dollars to find out if I have a benign tumor on my ear. I could care. His thing was saying, he was trying to say, well, depends on location, because those tumors grow, and if it's kind of close to your brainstem, then as it grows, it would push against the brainstem. That could really cause complications, and because the brainstem controls your breathing and your heart rate and all that stuff. It could really make trouble for you in the future. It's like, we'll cross that bridge when that happens, if that's true, if that's the way it is. It's like, I don't put my faith in man. This guy he didn't give me any confidence at all when I was asking all these questions. He couldn't answer the simplest questions. He really couldn't. Then he rolls his eyes when I'm asking prices on things. Sorry, that's how I am. That's how I roll. It's my thing. So I'll put my faith in somewhere else better. So that was a good question, Hoob. I tried that. That was good. That's one of the first things I thought too. I really thought I was spot on with the glue. I thought it was glue ear. I thought so. I was hoping so, because there's so much. It feels like I'm underwater on this side. It feels like there's a lot of pressure against my ear. And so I thought for sure there was fluid in my ear. And I even had a doctor test me twice at the clinic. And then I even had the big hospital test me again. I said, check it again. I swear it feels like I have fluid in my ear. Zero. No fluids. So that's the way it is with that. That's what's going on with that. So let's get that. That's out of the way. Now you understand why I'm a little late in the videos. Please forgive me, and I'm doing the best I can. Please keep watching. I think I worked it out. It's going to be like 5-parter. It's long. I have tons of hours of. Didn't realize I've shot that much video. It doesn't feel like it when you're shooting a video and you're having fun out there doing stuff and stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot. We're going to be talking about this thing too. So I'm going to talk about this again tonight because this is an amazing phone. This thing will blow you guys away if you have like a 10 or lower, or even 11 or lower. This thing will blow you away. It's incredible. The camera is incredible. Still pictures as well as video. And so I want to talk a little bit more about this because I'm really impressed. It's the cheapest phone I ever bought. My phones over here iPhones have always been around $1,600. This thing cost me $1,200. I actually got $200 off on it. So this is the cheapest phone I ever got, and it's the most powerful I've ever had. The camera is insane on this thing. And I'm just talking about the camera. Everything else is insane on this thing as well. And that's the funny thing I was talking to my wife about this too. I said, there's a really good chance that this stuff that they don't know what's causing it. And there's a good chance they actually do, but they don't want to admit to it because there's a good chance it could be 5G, or it could be these stupid earbuds with the noise canceling. Because I just started using those when I was making these videos, and I don't use them very long. I don't like things in my ear usually because my ear it makes my ears sore. But I have been using them to make these videos. So I said to my wife, wouldn't it be kind of ironic if it's the technology I love using so much is causing the deafness? But I said, but at the same time, there's a trade, isn't there? Because this stuff is pretty cool. I mean, you lose one ear, but the stuff is pretty cool. I was able to talk to my sister today in my car while I'm driving in my car, hands-free, in another country for free, with thanks to this technology on these devices and stuff. It's pretty amazing. But it would be ironic if it was that same technology that caused the deafness. There's a good chance 5G does affect people's hearing. They're still doing studies on it, but they have admitted that it does affect people. Some people, not everyone, but some people's hearing gets affected by 5G. Now they're trying to figure out to the extent. And I wouldn't be surprised if someday we find out it's either 5G or these noise canceling devices that are causing this crap. Because these earbuds work off of Bluetooth. That's a type of radiation as well. It's a radio wave. Who knows? Let's see. Have to hit the pillow. Okay, also Jim, do you have your line number? Yeah. I'm always waiting for you to call me. I tried calling you a couple of times, but it wouldn't go through. So I figured your phone was turned off. Or you're still using, at that time, I think you were still using like an iPod and a Wi-Fi at that time. And you might have had your Wi-Fi. You told me the Wi-Fi was like, if you're using a TV, it doesn't work for the phone. So it could have been that. So I did try calling you. But yeah, you can call me anytime online, buddy. And we can talk about the solar panel. I strongly recommend solar panels. Solar panels are great for many reasons, but one of the greatest ones is being off-grid, basically. You can be off-grid with solar panels, So I really, especially in this country with electricity rates the way they are, it wouldn't, for your house, if it's a typical Japanese house, it wouldn't take many panels to fully power the house, basically. And as a matter of fact, most people I talk to with solar panels around here, on the, most of the year, they're getting money from the electric company because they're producing more power than they use, So you get money back usually. You get a little bit of money every month back. You don't actually pay anything to the electric company. You're actually getting money back. Japan doesn't. Unfortunately, in Japan you can't store energy like you can in other countries. But there's a workaround. Remember, that's why I love Nissan Leafs, Arias, all those electric cars that that Nissan puts out. They have a thing called home to grid now. They used to call it Leaf to home. Now they call it grid to home or whatever. And what it is it's a giant inverter that you can it plugs into your Leaf, and the Leaf will power your house or the Aria or whatever. I think it's only giving about 7 to 10 kilowatts into the house. So you can't power every room, but you can power the important stuff in your house and live comfortably while everyone else has no power. And I can testify to that. I didn't have leaf to home, but I had several generators. I was the only house in the whole neighborhood that had lights at night and had a refrigerator working, and I could watch the news after that major earthquake. That's the only time I watched. I plugged my TV into the wall. Was to watch the news after that big 2011 earthquake, the Hanshin earthquake. Because we were having so many aftershocks and they were scary, very powerful aftershocks, like every 5 minutes. And so I wanted to see what was going on and stuff. And also that terrible Miyagi was having their tsunami problems and stuff. So, I was watching the news. I was the only house that could. Yacha was completely out of power for quite a while. And then when finally brought the power back, they were doing rolling blackouts every day. Not for me, so I could still work. My company could keep going because I had those generators. Well, if I had to leaf to grid, it would have been a lot easier. Just flip a switch and my house turns on. I don't have to plug in generators or anything. So there is a workaround to not being able to store your energy. You get those solar panels. You charge your car. Boom. If you want to be a cheapskate and use your car's electricity at night to power your house and appliances, great. Then you don't have to use, when the sun's gone, you don't have to use the electricity from the power company to power your house. You can use your car. But what it was really good for is emergency situations, or if you want to be more off grid, you can store energy. I don't recommend using it on a leaf too often. The Aria is going to have cooling. Aria is going to be just like a Tesla or any other modern car. It's going to have active cooling in the battery pack. The Leafs have passive cooling, and they don't move obviously when you're at home. And the inverter, when it's drawing a lot of current, it heats those batteries up really bad, and you'll destroy your battery's life pretty quick if you do it all the time. Once in a while, for like a emergency power outage during a typhoon or an earthquake or something, that's fine. But doing it every day, just trying to save money from not wanting to pay the power company, that will tax your battery really hardcore for too much. And I've seen guys with 3-year-old Leafs with like 5 segs, 6 segs of battery life because the high temps just destroyed the battery in no time. So you want to be careful of that. Okay. Anyways, let's see. I see on video of you power the lamp computer from the car. Right. That was the van. I did the AC, I did the lights, and I did a computer. I could have done more lights, but I only had the one light. But yeah, that's typically AC, 27-inch computer, big computer, and a couple lamps. It's basically what you can do, and you just alternate. Like if you keep the refrigerator plugged in, of course, and then you just alternate the other things. If you want air conditioning, if it's hot or if it's cold, you can plug that in, turn your heater or air conditioning on, unplug it when it gets cool enough. If then you can plug in the stove or something, your little portable IH heater or something, cooker and stuff like that. So you just alternate, but yeah, it worked. That's a 15 kilowatt, right? It's 1,500. I'm not kilowatt. Sorry. It's 1,500. It's 1,500 kilowatt inverter. I'm sorry, 1,500 watts, 1.5 kilowatts. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, it's late. I'm tired. So it's 1,500 watt. That was only 1,500 watt. I was able to power that many things off of it, and it worked great. That was awesome. So that's really cool. So I do have that with that van. These vans just come standard with that inverter, and it's powerful. I was really impressed with all the stuff I could run off of it. It was hardly drawing anything from that traction battery. It was great. Bye, buddy. Bye, Jim. Let's see. Yeah. Hube says bye to Jim. Cool. Thanks, Hube. It's good to have a community. Let's keep that going. Yeah, that's cool. You said goodbye to him. Awesome. So let's get into the other stuff. I've already lost a couple. Oh, that was just Jim. No, I lost 2. Somebody else was watching. They gave up on me. Let's move on. Okay, good. I was worried there. I thought NASA was going the whole time. Sorry about that. So real quick, let's go over the iPhone real quick. Let me show you some of these pictures. You're gonna be blown away by these pictures. Boom. Now this is what I'm trying to show: the low light photos are incredible. But this is not a really good picture. The quality is not very good because the stupid live mode. This is when I just bought the camera. In fact, the bag in the basket of my bike is the bag that had my camera in it from the store. And I guess by default, live view is on, and I didn't know that. And live view, it's like video, and they take a still shot from the video, so it's not good. But it does show you the light. The lighting is incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible lighting on these things. Hang on, let me turn that off. Go to 3. This is daytime shots. Look at this. You can't take a bad picture with these cameras. But I am using an effects. This is not a filter. This is effects. It's just like on a DSLR. You have a button. You can go to effects, and it has presets for what kind of effect you want. Do you want vivid, or do you want contrast or portrait? It's the same thing. They now give you these effects built in. That you just scroll through, flip through, and I chose on this is. Excuse me, this is a vivid effect using my wide angle lens. It's beautiful. The pictures are stunning. This is not, I don't think this is wide angle, this is my standard lens. With the vivid again. Stunning pictures. Oops, wrong one, that's for later. Stunning pictures. The photo quality, insane on these things, okay? Can't say good enough things about it, because so that's iPhone. Let's get into the K car. All right, I already talked about the Aria. Aria is delayed in Japan just as much as Europe. No definite dates when it's going to come out. That sucks. Good news is about the Aria. Huh. Well, I'm looking at the wrong spot. Huh? Hang on, guys. What's going on? Only 2 people. I lost a lot of people. It wasn't just Jim. Huh. Well, okay. Well, maybe people will watch later. There's a new K car. It's a joint effort between K car. I've talked about K cars before. They're a Japanese small car. They're highly regulated cars on size and power and stuff like that in Japan. They're 4-passenger only, but they have been getting bigger. The Japanese government's kind of relaxed a little bit on the size, but they're very boxy because they push the size to its limits. So they don't have a lot of room for styling. They're usually very boxy cars to give it as much room as possible. Anyway, I had the inbox, that blue Honda I had was a K car. They're very roomy on the inside because you basically don't have any trunk. The backs of your back seat are right over the rear wheel, and there's not much. It's like maybe about this much room between the back seat and the back of the car. So they're roomy on the inside. As a matter of fact, the back seats, a 6-foot tall person can stretch their feet out and stretch their legs out and stretch them all the way out and sit quite comfortably in the back of a K car. The leg room's pretty insane on K cars, and they're good for fuel economy. Like, you can get a K car with over 50 miles a gallon without no hybrid or anything. It's just small engines and super fuel efficient. There's the Alto. I think the Alto gets like 80 miles to the gallon with just a regular gasoline engine. They're very fuel efficient cars. But Nissan is making another K car that's electric. Mitsubishi was the first ones to mass produce. Nissan gets the credit with the Leaf, right? But actually, Mitsubishi beat Nissan by a few months. I don't know, maybe even a year. They were making the iMEV. You guys know the iMEV. It's kind of popular. Top Gear made fun of it a couple times a long time ago. It looks like an egg on wheels. It's really cute, and it's a gasoline car, but they converted to electric, and it was mass produced before Nissan Leaf came out. The reason why Nissan Leaf kind of gets the credit is because it was a ground up. It was built as an EV. It wasn't a gasoline car that they converted. It was ground up EV built, and it was mass produced. So Nissan kind of gets the credit for the first mass produced EV, but IMEV was out before them. But the IMEV was ridiculously expensive with really crappy range, like 60-mile range, and it was over $40,000 for a K car. Those are insane numbers, you know. Anyways, Nissan's coming out with a new one called the IMK, and they've been test driving it in. Well, let's talk about what it looks like. This was a couple years ago at a car show. They were showing the not prototype. What's it called? The guys, help me out. It's really late. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I think you're right. It's just us. I had 6 people. Now it's down to you and me. That kind of sucks. I guess I talked too much about the phone. That's on me. That's my bad. People gave up. Anyways, this is the IMK. This is the concept version of it. I took some screenshots from some guy's video, YouTube video. It's kind of cute for a K car. I hate those wheels, but the K car itself is pretty cute. And what really got me was that the interior is pretty insane. It uses cameras just like the Honda E for your side view mirrors or cameras, and the dashboard display is gorgeous. It's a bezel-less dash display. There's no bezel. It goes right to the edge. The picture goes right to the edge all the way around, and it's got this chrome. This on the side here. You guys can't see, but on the side of the dashboard, it's chrome. It's like really shiny. It's crazy with with a fabric on the other part. But the display is really pretty. It's really nice. It looks like it has lots of leg room because it's an EV, no tunnel, which is nice. And so there's another shot of the display. I mean that's pretty nice. But keep in mind, this is a concept. I don't think it'll ever come to fruition. But you can see the legroom's really great. This is interesting. This looks like the back seat, that's kind of cool. The illumination, the light below the headrest is kind of cool looking. But what I found is interesting. This is a bucket seat or bench. I'm sorry. This is a bench seat for the back seat. I haven't seen that in ages. They're bringing the bench seat back. That's going to be interesting. And it looks like, I don't have a good photo of it. Let's see here. I got too many going at the same time. It looks like, where is it? Can't see on that one either. Not there. Here? Right, if you can see in the middle, there's a little mark in the middle of the seat. I think that's going to be wireless charging. And you see there's some arrows. You can actually recline the seat. The whole seat's going to move and recline. That's cool. So it's adjustable seat in the back, power adjustable seat. And in the middle, you have, looks like wireless charging for your devices. So pretty nice concept car. Don't know if it's ever going to go. Do you see the video from Bjorn? Neo. I'm having a hard time reading this. Hang on. Bjorn. Banana box test. So big Chinese car. Oh no, I didn't check out that. Bjorn. I haven't watched in a long time. I like Bjorn, but I liked his original early videos before he went professional YouTuber when he was doing the earlier stuff. Much more fun. Now I get why he has to do what he does, but it's much more formatted now. I'm not. I liked it when he was more just being himself and just doing his thing, and there was some hilarious videos from when he was first making them, when he was doing all those deliveries and stuff in his Model S, and wifey didn't like to go along and stuff. Those are fun videos. But I don't really watch Bjorn too much anymore. I do watch once in a while on things that I'm interested in watching. Like I was curious about the the range of the new the 40 kilowatt hour E&V, and he does a pretty good job. But another thing about Bjorn is he only has like a day or two, and so they're still not real world numbers. He does these tests and stuff, and they're kind of silly. They're not compatible for where I live, and so it doesn't really work for me. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, all right. But I got some interesting stuff here. Let me turn this one on. Let's see. No, that's not it. Sorry. I'm looking for it. Where is it? Is it here? Oh, here it is. This is a video. They're right now. They're test driving. Let's see. Hang on. There we go. So they are. Got it. So they're test driving the IMK in America, and I wasn't really interested in it too much because I heard it was going to be over $20,000. Like for a K car, it's ridiculous. But one thing that got me interested is it looks like they're saying it's going to have. Let me see if I can pop that picture up. No, that's not it. Hang on. There we go. Where can I pop it? Can you guys see that? Maybe you can see that. Let me see. They're saying this thing's gonna have almost. It's actually better range than the first gen Leaf. It's like close to the 30 kilowatt hour Leaf's range. This little K car, which is intriguing. That's got me interested. It actually has me interested because I like the small battery pack cars, so I can charge from solar panels. So that's what they're saying about that. Let me play the video for you guys, and for you, sorry, for you guys, for you, Hugh. Let's take a look at this video real quick. So you don't see much, but they are testing in America. I think it was in Phoenix, possibly. I can't remember where that was, in Arizona, maybe. They're test driving it over there, trying to check its range and everything. Right there, it was plugged into a quick charger, so it is going to have quick charging capabilities, and so that's pretty interesting. It's going to be it's going to be quite a bit more expensive than most K cars, but not. There are other K cars as expensive as this, and it's going to have almost 300-kilometer range, which is really. I mean, I think those are Japanese numbers, so it's for Japan. Okay, guys, that's for Japan, but that's not bad. It means at 280 kilometers Japanese range, it'll easily do 160 kilometers for you guys over in other countries, different speeds. It'll definitely do 100 miles, and for a little teeny K car, that's really great. More because K cars are really meant for everyday use, running to the bank, running to the grocery store, doing stuff like that. They're very small, they're very maneuverable, they have plenty of pep, and they're fun to drive, and they're fully loaded lately. All the K cars just come fully loaded. They always have their, the adaptive cruise controls, the Pro Pilots, or whatever you want to call it. All the Nissan Ks have Pro Pilots now. They, the full autonomous driving on the highways and stuff. They're fully loaded. They got the automatic high beams, automatic headlights, all the safety features. All the pedestrian, all that stuff. Hill stop assist. They're fully loaded now, and they're coming out with. They have like the gasoline versions have like 8-9-speed transmissions in them, so they're very quiet running, smooth. They're really good cars. They're getting better and better. So their prices are coming up because they're throwing all that stuff into them. And so this one, like I showed from that concept, we saw that concept screenshots. Let's see, not that one. Go here. It's gonna be insane. If it comes even close to this, I don't know if we'll have a screen like. Gosh, I don't have a good picture of the screen, do I? I don't have a good picture of the dash at all. Sorry, guys, but if the dash is even somewhat similar to that, that'd be awesome. I don't think it's going to be bezel-less. I don't think it's going to be a bezel-less display, beautiful display that big. But if they do it like I think it's going to be more like if they do it, the interior is going to look more like what is James? What's that? Lemon Tea Leaf. James, he just bought the new Ionic. What is that called? Ionic 5 or whatever. What is it? I can't remember, but it'll probably be more like his dashboard in his car. So, yeah. How big's the battery? Yeah, the wheels look terribly small, don't they? But K cars usually, the biggest size they get is 15. They usually come standard with 13s or 14s. So they are small. They're very small wheels. The battery size, I can't tell. I think it's 30 kilowatts, the same as the Leaf, the 30 kilowatt hour Leaf. So turn these things off. All right, so I think that's what we're dealing with is 30 kilowatt hour battery pack on it and almost 300 kilometer range in Japan, which means you'll probably get about 110, 115 miles in the UK with a car like that. It's definitely going to be better than the IMEV. And in the UK, the IMEV is a big hit over in the UK. It's also a big hit in New Zealand. It's a big hit in I know in a lot of those Eastern European countries love the IMEV. They're going to love this even more because it's going to be loaded. It's going to have autonomous driving on the highways. It's going to have all the safety features. It's going to have it's going to have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless charging for your devices. I don't know what the display is going to be like, but it's not going to be like that concept. Oh gosh, wouldn't that be awesome, man? Like that concept car. It's not going to have that, but it might in some countries like Japan. It's legal to have those kind of mirrors. The side mirrors can be the LC, the high definition displays. It'll probably have that in most countries, and yeah, it's gonna be. That would be a really nice, like a second car, electric car, because the battery pack size. I'm telling you, these are great for off-grid people. People want to do homesteading. People want to be off-grid. People that gasoline's getting ridiculous over here. I talked about it last week, or last stream. Gasoline's getting ridiculous over here, and so if you could charge off of your house like at cheap electricity rates at night, like I have, it costs like a buck at the most to charge it all the way up. I don't even think a buck, like 50 cents to charge it all the way up at night, right? With a battery pack that size. So that's awesome to have that kind of range. I'll tell you right now, my Leaf, and I use it a lot, but we charge like once a week, twice a week most, because we use it a lot, but it's just doing the typical errands you do with the Leaf, right? The van I charge more often because I use it for work and for private use afterwards. So I have to charge that more often, usually every other day or sometimes every day, depending on how much we're driving for work. Because it's our school bus for picking kids up and taking them home, but it's also our school bus for doing, when we're doing outings and stuff. Summertime, we do a lot of outings. When it gets colder, we stay at school more, so then I charge every other day, basically. Even though as it gets colder, your range goes down because that's the problem with battery lithium ions. In the wintertime, they're terrible for there's a word I'm looking for, but anyways, they're terrible on range in the wintertime. Hugh Junker says 5. I don't know what 5. Oh, thank you. The Ionic 5, yeah. Here over €2 gasoline. Yeah. Wow. America's at 4 something a gallon right now. I worked it out. High octane over here is almost $8 a gallon. $8 a gallon almost for high octane over here. And you'd be surprised how many people use high octane cars over here. German cars are so popular in Japan right now. It's all about image and look how good I am compared to you kind of thing, right? I get that. But yeah, they're just paying through the nose for gasoline right now. I guarantee their gasoline is probably the same as their monthly gas payments are probably the same as their car payments because people that drive those cars also drive them hard. They always drive German cars hard. They're so hard on them. And so I guarantee their monthly gas bill is just ridiculous. But But with these little this little K car, these Leafs, like the 30 kilowatt or 24 kilowatt hour Leaf, even up to the 40 kilowatt hour Leaf, they're small enough battery packs. You can charge them. You know, if you have solar panels, you can charge it from your house, and that's gonna give you so much range. Yeah, if you want to take a long trip, you're gonna have to take some kind of charging card or use your credit card or something to charge along the way. But how often do you do that? It's still not gonna be. It's not gonna be near as expensive as a gasoline car. Not near. Maybe a little inconvenient for some people. Some people like to fill up in 5 minutes and go. I really have no problem taking 15. It depends on the weather once again, but 15 to 40 minutes roughly to charge to 80%. I have no problem waiting those times. I have no problem at all. I don't mind. So that's me though. Home gas and electric go double in a few months. Wow. Wow, really? Gosh. Things are ridiculous out there right now. It's a crazy world right now. And that's insane. Sorry to hear that, Hoob. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, here's some cool stuff. Oh, wait. Got something. That's what I was waiting for, if you had anything else to say. Hugh says, lucky I just do 5. Oh, that's what you're saying? 5? For the home electric and gas. 5 tier? Am I missing something? Let me get my glasses. It's getting so late. I should get my glasses. Oh, hang on, guys. I'm not blind or anything. In fact, I have very good vision. It's just my eyes are blurry because I'm tired. My eyes are really blurry because I'm tired, and also it's late. So let me put my reading glasses on. I look really old now. He says, lucky I just do 5-year contract for the... Oh, 5-year for home electric. Okay, I get it. So you're locked in at a certain rate. Okay, 5-year contract. Got it. Good. It's kind of like my card. It's like that charging network card I showed you. It's a 5-year card, so I'm locked in. Everyone else that buys a car right now and that gets that card, they're paying much higher rates than I'm paying. So I'm locked in for 3 more years, a little under 3 more years. That's awesome. Actually, I'm almost a 2-year mark. Gosh, I keep saying almost 3 years, but actually, it's like 2 years and I think I got the card in March or April, maybe April. What is that? So November, December, January, February, March, April. That's still 2.5 years. Okay, I have 2.5 years left on my card, and then when that expires, I'll have to do a higher rate. But what are you gonna do? It's still cheaper than gas. All right. I want to show something cool. Check this out, guys. This is a story. Let's see here. I want to be able to interact with it. All right. This is a story about Porsche has an experience center. They call it Tokyo, but it's not. It's actually in Chiba Prefecture, like everything else that says they say Tokyo is always in Chiba. Like Tokyo Disneyland, Chiba. Everything's in Chiba, really. But they call it Tokyo. So anyways, this is actually like, I think 20 miles from my house. It's very close. And they have a racetrack, a 2.1 kilometer racetrack. And if you have a lot of money, you can pay to have a professional driver go with you, and you can run the full electric Cayenne on the track. And that's kind of cool, but it's expensive. What is it? Let me show you. There's the track. That's a pretty cool track. That is a pretty dang nice looking track, if you ask me, guys. What do you think? What do you think of that track? Isn't that sweet? That's a sweet track. Yeah. Let's see. Let's keep going. Scroll down. I want to get to the cost. So there's the Cayenne right there, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's the Cayenne, but it's Cayenne, right? Am I saying it right? I think it's Cayenne. Let's see. You can also test drive any of their gasoline cars, but I just want to talk about the EV they have. Taycan, not Cayenne, Taycan. Thanks for correcting me out there, guys. It's Taycan. So you can check this out. The Taycan 4S will for an hour and a half on the track with a professional driver. Well, I don't even think it's an hour and a half on the track because they have to go over. You have to do some stuff first, but an hour and a half course is going to cost you $517 roughly. It's $517 roughly. I'm just like that's like 100 yen to $1 translation, but yeah, it's $517 for 90 minutes with the Taycan 4S. The Taycan Turbo is $600 roughly to test drive that or not test drive, but to drive it on a track for 90 minutes. And then I was checking out. I was checking out the car, the Taycan, on the home page. Let me see here. Oops, wrong one. Hang on. It's so hard to use this stupid. There we go. Soft. There we go. So I was checking them out, and this is the Taycan, huh? Taycan. Okay, thanks, Hugh. Taycan. I don't know how you feel about it, but man, that is one ugly car. The side profile is just hideous, and the front looks good. They always show the front usually, the front looks good, but that is a ugly car, either sedan or the Turismo, Cross Turismo, or the Cross Turismo, either one, ugly. Of course, the Cross Turismo is even uglier. It's more ugly, but that is not an attractive car to me. And then I was going through the models, like they say we can test drive the 4S, right? Oops, I'm hitting the wrong button. You can test drive the 4S. Let's see here. Is it coming up? Yeah, 4S. And you can get to the text. Let's see. Technical specs, right? It's a $100,000 car if you to buy it. Its range is, and I think they're being generous, is 227 miles on one charge. It looks fairly good, a 390 kilowatt output motor, so it gives you roughly 522 horsepower. But look at the acceleration, 0 to 60 in 3.8. A Model 3 beats that. That's not that impressive for that car. I mean, they pushed it like it's such a great car. I think the Model 3 even beats it on range. The range is better than the Model 3, and the speed is better. And it's a fraction of this cost. And the only time you can get better than that is if you go to the other one I'll let you test drive. What's it called? Turbo? Where is it? Yeah, this is the one I think. Taycan Turbo S. Look at the specs. It's still only 2.6 seconds. I think if you get the four-wheel drive Model 3 with the you pay extra for that performance package, they're almost identical stats there. And look at the price on this thing. $185,000 with 200 miles, even less, and they're still being generous. So it's probably more like real world 180 mile range. I'm not really impressed by these. This thing is not making me like, wow, I want to run out and order one. Look at the side profile of this car. No wonder they always just show the front usually. That is so ugly, guys. I'm sorry, that's ugly. Let's see what you guys think of it. I am more and more Taycan over here. I see more and more Really? How about Kia EV? I love the Korean EVs. The Koreans are going boom. Just like the Chinese, they're going boom full force on. And unlike the Chinese aren't doing international still. They're just domestic. At least the Koreans are pushing stuff out of country as well, except for Japan. I have no access to any Korean cars. It goes back to before the war even. They have bad blood between the Koreans and the Japanese, and so no Korean cars over here basically. You can kind of get them, but No electrics, that's for sure. Um, is that e-tron? E-tron Jira is the same. Okay, e-tron more nice than the Taycan. I agree. The e-tron. I think I know what you're talking about. E-tron. E-tron is e-tron. Who makes the e-tron? I saw that car once. I looked it up for somebody. It was a long time ago. I think that's the Kia, right? Is that Kia does the e-tron? It's a better looking car. E-tron's better looking. I was looking at a lot of these. They have photos, of course, and I was looking at the photos of the car. Even the front it's still kind of mediocre to me for a $180,000 car, but the side is just awful. That is just awful for a $180,000 car, dude. Seriously, that price, get the Plaid, the Tesla Plaid. It just blows that thing away on everything, specs, and the better looking. I mean, I would never buy a Plaid myself. It's like way too much money for. You don't need all that power, all that stuff. You don't need any of that stuff really for everyday driver and stuff. That's just ridiculous. But like, look at this interior shot. I'm sorry, but you know me. I've talked about this. I am old school. I like the physical buttons over the, like, Tesla. The one thing I don't like about Tesla is everything's in that display. And it's kind of cool, but it's also very troublesome when you're driving. Even when you get used to it, it's still kind of a pain. That's why I like those. I do like the fact they have those thumb controllers on your steering wheels to helps a little bit. But also those screens, when they flip out, and they have done it for a lot of people, you can't do things with the car. You can't. Sometimes the screen flips out, so you can't open your glove compartment. Things like that. So I do like having this physical buttons, but this is too much. It's like going back in time. It looks like a 1970s car. That looks like something from the 70s to me. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, really, but it's not my style. Not for $180,000. I want it to feel a little bit more sci-fi. That doesn't feel so sci-fi. It feels sporty. It is sporty, yeah. But I want sci-fi with sporty. I mean, it doesn't feel like you're in the future when you're sitting in this cockpit. The steering wheel even looks so. I don't know. I don't even like that steering wheel. I would just probably Momo. I'll probably get a Momo steering wheel for anyways. Same platform. Really? Wow. Audi does the e-tron. That's what it is. Audi e-tron. I saw one. I went to a mall, and they had there was an outdoor charging area, and there was an Audi e-tron charging. It's big. That's a big car. The Audi e-tron, it's kind of SUV style. Kind of look. It sits high. It's kind of SUV looking. It's a big car. I kind of liked it. But I don't like the price that goes along with it. I'm not into paying those kind of numbers. Not your style too. Yeah. Not for that price. The hype with the Taycan was so huge, and I feel like Porsche kind of let everybody down in the EV world. The EV enthusiasts, they let down. Maybe the Porsche enthusiasts are all excited about it. Maybe that's what Porsche's trying to do, is trying to get those gas monkeys, those gas people, and slowly wean them off the gas by showing them something that looks so much like a gasoline car. But why couldn't they at least the exterior made it look better? I get the interior. If they're trying to get the gas people, if you're trying to get them into the EV world, then maybe don't jolt them too much with the like what Tesla does. But the exterior could have been better looking. That's so ugly. That car is so ugly. What a letdown. So yeah, but e-tron GT is it's different. Oh, okay. I only know the Audi e-tron. I don't know the G. I'll have to look that one up. I'll look it up when I get offline with you guys. I don't. If you're wondering what this is, if you're wondering what this is where I got my blood taken, and I don't know why, but I got the shot right in the center, but for some reason I got the bruise on the outside like that. It's kind of weird. If you're wondering what that is. Anyways, The I've lost my train of thought, but yeah, well, you have an Audi dealership kind of nearby. The cars are so expensive in this country, way more than in America or Europe. They're really expensive. Anything German, dude. Over here, a Volkswagen is more expensive than a BMW in America. I mean, it's really weird. It's a weird country. I know Volkswagen is way more expensive than it was when I was back in the '90s when I lived in America in the '90s. I know they've changed their image. They're going for more high scale now, not the people's cars so much anymore. But it's still way more expensive over here. It's ridiculous. You might as well be buying a BMW or something. It's actually the Volkswagens are the same price as a BMW. You can get a a BMW 3 Series for the same prices. I don't know the model names of the Volkswagens, but they're almost the same price. Not the Golf, of course. Golf is still less than a Model 3, but one of their other cars. They're expensive. Volkswagen is expensive. Okay, I think I hit everything. I try to go as fast as possible. How long have I been doing this? An hour and a half. I went 30 minutes over time. I wanted to do it in an hour. I couldn't do it in an hour. It's been good talking to you guys. Thank you for joining. I have 2 new people. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate that. If you missed anything, just start the video over. I talked about the new iPhone 13, how great it is. For anybody that was curious, I didn't do a full review, but I just wanted to give you my thoughts on the camera and stuff. And then I also talked about why my part 3 has been delayed on my series of this massive trip I took with my van. And then I also talked about the IMK, the new K car. That's a joint thing with Mitsubishi and Nissan, and it's going to have close to it's almost 200-kilometer range for a K car, which is pretty impressive. And I don't think it's gonna look much like this. This is the concept they showed 2 years ago. It's gonna look a little bit like it. Like I do have pictures of here. There's pictures. I have pictures of the IMK. It's all wrapped up to hide its looks, but it's similar to the concept with the headlights and stuff. But like the interior, I could only wish the interior looked like that with that nice massive screen on the inside that's bezel-less, a bezel-less display, high definition display that can show you full screen Navi or full screen whatever you're watching. That's pretty cool, but I don't think that's not gonna show up in the in the production model, unfortunately. But I do like that it has no tunnel. It looks like it's not gonna have a tunnel, and it looks like there's a good possibility it could have these mirrors. The Honda E has these mirrors. This country, Japan, it's legal to have these kind of mirrors over here, so this is a possibility because this is a Japanese-made car, and the tunnel, the lack of tunnel is a possibility. I think the display on this is going to be more like the Ioniq 5 that James from Lemon Tea Leaf, he's been doing videos about it. I think it's going to be more like his display probably. It's a nice display. It's nice. It's just not. It's not going to be. This would probably cost as much as the car right now. This kind of display. It's gorgeous. That's a huge display. Bezel-less, gigantic display. That's pretty insane. That's an insane display on the car. That won't be on the production model. So that's what I talked about. If you guys missed that, the people that showed up late, if you missed those things, when my stream finishes, just go back and watch that if you're interested. Okay. Thanks for joining, guys. I hope I hit everything I want to talk about. I think I did, and I will see you in my next episode. My next episode, I'm going to do this weekly. Last week I missed because my hard drive was full and I was fighting with that. Next week I will do same time, same day. I'll start at 11:30 at night here. I don't know what that time is for you, but whatever it was for you an hour and a half ago is the time I'm going to start. It's going to be a regular thing on this day and at this time for you guys. So check back next week and see what we have to talk about then. And if I've learned anything new about the Aria, I also talked about the Aria. If I learned anything new about the Aria, I'll let you know. All I know now is it has been delayed over here as well as the UK. And it's they don't have a date when it's going to come out. When it does come out, though, I did make a I locked it in so I can use it. I can make a video. They've given me permission to make a video and use the car. I don't know how long I get it. Hopefully I'm going to get it for a full day so I can do at least a semi-decent review of the car. And yeah. So you guys have a good one. Thanks, Hugh. You too. Take care. And thanks for watching, buddy. Thanks for being you're just a really big supporter, and I really appreciate that from my heart, man, from my heart. And I will see you. What's this? Sorry, I missed some. How are the school kids? Oh, PS how are the school kids? They're doing great. I actually got a new one, and I have another new one starting soon. So it's going well. School's going well, and the kids are doing great. They're really cute. I showed you some pictures of the kids. Didn't I? Hugh? You saw the kids, right? I showed pictures of the kids. I'm sure you did. They're here, right? Boom. There's my kids. These are my kids. Aren't they cute? These are my students. Aren't they adorable? Those are cuties. The boy in the yellow, the one that's wearing the yellow shirt, he's brand new. He just started a week ago. He doesn't speak any English yet, but we're working on that. So thanks for asking. You too. You take care. And somebody just joined now. I'm sorry. I'm signing off. Please watch when the stream ends. Go back and watch. And I talk about a lot. I talk about the Aria. I talk about the iPhone 13. I talk about the IMK, the new car that's coming out soon. The K car from Nissan. I talk about Porsche, the Taycan. I talk about. What else did I talk about? I think I talk about Porsche, and I talk about Kisaraz. There's a new Porsche place out here with a racetrack, and if you have $600, you get 90 minutes behind the wheel of a Taycan turbo, which is pretty cool. So I talk about all this stuff. And plus more. So check that out if you missed it. Thanks for joining. And sorry, I'm signing off now, guys. You take care and have a good one. I'll see you same time, same day next week. I'm going to start making this on a regular basis. Okay, guys? All right. Thanks for watching. I will see you again. Bye.